Today's video is USA versus Europe intelligence.
We are Greg and Lisa, an American couple living abroad in Spain. If you're curious about the crazy, funny, and surprising differences between the US and Europe, you came to the right place.
Yeah, so I don't know this channel very well, so I'll be curious to see if it's leaning US or Europe. So
yeah. Well, we're going to find out in just a second here. All right, this is Geopold. We are going to include a link in the description so you can go and support them. Of course, we would also appreciate that. Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's see what happens here.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
If you've been on the internet in the last 2 years, you've probably come across videos like these.
Can you name any country on this map?
This one's super popular.
Yeah.
Africa?
What country did the Vietnam War happen in?
Canada. Can you name a country on this map?
Asia or Africa?
That's a continent.
Oh.
So where's Jamaica? Yeah, somewhere around there.
I mean, would you know where Jamaica's at? I ain't gonna lie. Would you know?
I know it's not over there. Isn't it closer to...
Girl, you would not know.
I know it's not in Africa.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't know. Would you know? I wouldn't know.
I think it's somewhere around... I'm going to embarrass myself.
It's okay.
But it's somewhere around like North America or like somewhere below us,
yeah,
like kind of thing.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not calling you out. Not like I know. I don't know.
So what's the deal? Are Americans really the ignorant dum-dums the internet presents them as? Or is this just a case of stereotyping and nitpicking for clout? Well, firstly, I want to make it very clear. I've met many Brits who couldn't name shit about European, American, or just the world's general history. Same with geography. I'd bargain that most UK citizens couldn't point out North Macedonia on a map. And like, I'd say at least 30% of Europeans don't know what Idaho is. That being said, I won't lie, there is a bit of...
But I mean, how many Americans know where Idaho is? I mean, let's be honest.
I hope so, but...
Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you think, you're like, Kansas is over there somewhere, but
or
you
North
don't
Dakota,
really...
South Dakota.
Yeah, those are a little bit easier, but there's some in the middle that are like, I don't know. Nobody lives there.
Nobody.
I don't know.
an American self-glazing problem that leads to them coming across as a bit narrow-minded. And I kind of get it, okay? The other day I was getting some of my tax shit sorted out. Oh my god, man. I get it. I fucking get it, guys. If I was out here paying them Louisiana tax brackets, I would probably dick ride my country as well. However, this low-tax, high personal spending policy that some American states have kind of means if you're well off, you can go to a good school guaranteed. But if you're poor, you're stuck going to a public school, which might be fine in some states, but like, bruh.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true. Community college. It's like if you, for university, it's community college.
Yeah, but he might even be talking about like elementary, like,
Oh, that's true. Private school versus public schools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
Dude, coming to school, you had a huge zit on you. That thing was heavy. Some of them, dude, I had acne so bad. One time, I remember having one zit. It was kind of heavy on the side of my face. Like, damn, I couldn't even. I had to have one of my buddies kind of just pull down on my other ear, just to keep my head straight. Because I had.
This is a comedian guy.
Yeah.
So I've heard of him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a comedian. So that's probably why he's acting.
Okay.
Dumb.
That heavy Z, baby, that big zitty, that baked ziti on my side. I was fully Italian, that little bust lump, that acne, that...
And obviously, bad public schooling only affects a certain fraction of the American population. But I feel like it's this fraction of Americans that Europeans make fun of, call stupid, and stereotype as the entire country. Those inbred fucking brainless hillbillies.
Well, because, I mean, if you are showing somebody who's intelligent, it's not as funny. So that's probably why they don't have that.
It's the things that stand out.
Right.
It's like people like us that we show all these funny, because it's funny or whatever.
Are you saying we're part of the problem?
I know.
Yeah, is that what you're saying? Okay. All right, okay.
Running around like animals with their machine guns and freedom. But let's be real, these people aren't crazy rednecks. They seem pretty normal. Why can none of them tell me where Asia is on a map?
That would be Asia.
No, that's Africa.
Why can none of them seem to grasp the concept of a country?
What country is the Queen of England from?
What is the country again? What is a country? Canada.
Well, aside from these videos being relatively nitpicked, I think the main reason for Americans' general ignorance about other countries and cultures kind of comes down to how the American media presents the rest of the world to Americans.
That's interesting. I wonder what... So, I mean, we're going to see what he's saying, but essentially he's just saying that the American media doesn't speak a lot about the rest of the world.
Yeah, I was actually talking to a comment. Someone commented about, intelligence and saying that America, the U.S., is not exposed to what's going. It's not exposed to Europe and all the countries there, and maybe Europeans are exposed to global news, where America's more just exposed to American news, and so we just don't learn.
That's true. That's true.
American film studios can simply make so much more money if they make foreign things seem more familiar to an American audience. I guess it makes it easier to understand and buy into and be invested in, For example, I bet Mamma Mia would have flopped if they had bulky, hairy...
What's that?
It's a movie. There's like a series of them, like Mamma Mia. There's probably I don't know how many. I've never seen any of them, but it's I think I know what they're going to say.
Oh, okay.
Because I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the American movies are based in Germany or Greece or wherever, but they're speaking English.
Greek actors with thick Greek accents, as opposed to the chiseled white American Hollywood celebrities they casted. It's set in fucking Greece. Not a word of Greek is spoken in the entire film. I mean, they even dub over all the original songs, which are sung with Swedish accents, with relatable American sounding voices, And surprise, surprise, it became the 6th highest grossing film in the US. If they kept this film Swedish and Greek, they would have sold 0 copies, I'm telling you. This intentional America washing of foreign cultures is all throughout Hollywood. Whenever a film is set abroad, the main character still has an American accent. I mean, they even make foreign actors change their voices, even if their American accents are horrible.
What's up with that boy? I heard he was out the game. Where you been at? You got heat?
I guess because it would be catastrophic for the film studio's revenue if there was a strand of foreign culture in their blockbuster production. This very subtle brainwashing has big consequences for the average American though. For example, less than 40% of them have a valid passport. Partly because if you don't...
That is true.
That is true.
We just got our passport 2 years ago.
Dang, that's true.
We made that 2 years ago.
Yeah, and the only reason we got it is a friend of mine said you want to have options.
Yeah.
So, and that was more like, even we got it because it was more political. We just needed to have options just in case or whatever. But
so we were scared. Is that what you're saying?
I know.
So
and obviously,
the way you get Americans to get a passport is to scare the crap out of them.
Scare the crap out of them.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Don't see any value or have never been taught anything about foreign cultures. Why would you leave the US? We got every single natural landscape you could ever imagine. We got every goddamn fast food establishment you could ever dream of. We got every culture here already. We got every historical site and element you could ever fathom. The difference with us Europeans, aside from on average having more well-funded public schools, is that we literally need to know about foreign cultures, because chances are the weather gets so peak at some point in the year that you need to annually travel to another country briefly just to find your will to live and survive another year.
Well, I mean, that's another thing too. You can travel to a country pretty easily out here.
So 2 hours away.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference. That's one of the reasons most Americans don't learn about it. And I would say that in America, you're somewhat brainwashed that America's the greatest ever. You don't need anywhere else. So they got everything that you need is there. So no one ever really looks outside of the
And it's true. It is true though that America's landscape is so diverse that you can't go from Washington to Montana and see all this amazing.
I mean, maybe because you got to drive, take you 2 days to get over there. And all that.
It takes like 4 hours to get from California to Texas.
Yes, and all that stuff is here in Europe.
I know. Yeah.
So
and from here to what, Italy or France? We know you're in Spain. Is 2 hours. Most places are about 2 hours away.
Yeah. Flights.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas Americans can just get a flight to the other side of their country. No new language, no new culture, no crazy visa restrictions. It's not that easy if you live in the UK. And this is why British people are so obsessed with going on holiday. Because they're all stuck on this cold-ass rainy island, and humans actually need vitamin D to survive. This means your average Brit at least looks at a map once a year when planning the next lad's getaway, which is probably more often than some Americans look at a map. Clearly.
What two countries border the U.S.? What's like the country above us and below us?
South America, North America.
Oh.
I mean, there's logic. There's logic there, okay?
Yeah.
We can't make the dude
It's not
look
a
too
country.
bad. But he tried. I mean, he tried.
Yeah.
Oh, no. All right.
Okay.
Okay, well, that was interesting. Any thoughts on that one?
No. Not
All
sure
right.
who is more intelligent. You know, who won that one?
I don't know. All right, let's see. Like this video if I should visit Goobertown, Arkansas.
Oh.
Is that a real thing?
I don't know. But Arkansas in general?
Careful. What you about to say?
I've never been there, so I don't know.
Yeah, so you can't say that.
I don't know. It's probably pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty. You know they have hot springs there. That's like Hot Springs, Arkansas. Yeah, it's supposed to be real nice. We've never been there though, so I just heard people talk about it. Okay, let's see here. As a proper Brexit geezer, I can confirm my favorite country is Sandwich.
I think he's being sarcastic.
Did I miss something?
I don't know.
Okay, all right, okay.
Got a lot of likes.
I'm happy to see Poles are enjoying Max burgers as well. Okay, so obviously they probably this guy obviously does funny videos or something because these people are all cracking jokes. And man, we don't know nothing. we don't know nothing. All right, okay. Anything else?
No, I'm gonna explore his channel though. Cause
we might see something else.
Yeah, you might see something.
Hey, if you like what you saw here and you want to see more, or if you have a suggestion on something that we should react to, we'll be happy to do that. We're always looking for something to react to, and we like to find good stuff. And we'll give you a special shout out if you put something in the comments that we actually use.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye.
Peace.